This is not the first Christmas-themed horror movie. You have Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Home Alone. Santa rewards the good kids, but what about the bad ones? This movie's based on a legend I had never heard of until a few years ago. I actually thought American Dad made it up. But it seems natural. Everyone seems to have a nemesis that's their exact opposite. Holmes had Moriarty, Professor X had Magneto, and Santa Claus has the Krampus.
Eyes in every store.
Krampus, or as I call him Anti-Claus, opens on Black Friday. Finish him! Kick him in the groin! You just made the naughty list. All of you. Thanks to YouTube, I know this is a thing that actually happens. This is our family, Tom and Sarah, played by Adam Scott and Toni Collette, and their kids, Beth and Max, played by Stefania Levy Owen and MJ Anthony. One by one, you see the Christmas traditions die.
Guys, are we still gonna watch Charlie Brown and wrap Christmas presents like always?
You know what? After what you pulled, you can do that alone. And quick. Your cousins get here any minute.
No chestnuts on the fire, no Charlie Brown on TV, no Jack Frost getting inappropriate with your face. Oh, and Krista Stadler plays Omi, Tom's mother, Max's grandmother.
I thought you said you weren't working over Christmas.
I said no traveling over Christmas. I still have to take a few calls. Hey, Roger, what's up?
Yeah, they're not exactly the Bradys. Is anyone happy here?
Will you two knock it off? Stop ringing the doorbell.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
It's a yearly get-together with Sarah's sister Linda, played by Allison Tolman, and her boorish husband Howard, played by David Koechner. And their kids. And don't forget Aunt Dorothy.
So where's the nog? I need to get Mary.
Howard is, shall we say...
Now, Eagle Scouts, kids, that's where you weave baskets and help little old ladies across the street. Am I right?
No.
An asshole. There, I said it.
Remember that your Aunt Sarah likes everything to be clean and perfect, and that's why she makes so much food that you can't pronounce.
Maybe it's time for dessert.
It's delicious, honey.
It's a little dry.
This is a nasty family. Nobody's nice. Everyone is just mean. Already, I want something bad to happen to everyone.
You know how this fancy food clogs my pipes.
Well, how about we go to your trailer for Christmas next year?
Ooh, someone had to say it. These brats get their fucking grubby little hands on Max's letter to Santa.
I wish my mom and dad could fall in love again.
Screw you, Dad does not wish we were boys.
I mean, honestly, why would anyone subject themselves to this every year? You know what this party needs?
I just wanted Christmas to be like it used to be, but forget it. I hate Christmas! I hate all of you!
What he said. But his loss of faith in Christmas causes him to tear up his letter. But he must have written that letter to Santa on a page from the Death Note because the rest of this movie happens. And Danny Ocean robs a nearby casino.
I would just be calmer if I knew how we were going to survive Christmas with 12 people stuck in a house with no hot water, no heat, and no electricity.
And no Wi-Fi! That's it, Christmas is canceled. But at least they still have their charming visitors. That's just Jack Skellington discovering Christmas. Beth goes to check on the neighbors, and her boyfriend in particular. But this winter wonderland is more of a nightmare when she's chased by the titular creature. Titular. Bill, is that you? But just when she seems to have escaped, the fam's getting a little worried, and Granny seems to know something's up. Scott and Howard go looking for Beth. Thank God he brought guns.
You packed guns on Christmas.
Always be prepared, Boy Scout.
Nothing to see here, just the Grinch ripping them off. Cindy Lou Who is bound and gagged in the basement. Something grabs Howard, but Tom saves him for some unknown reason. Oh yeah, it's Christmas or something. No Beth, but they make it back. And Granny is still being creepy.
Kümmert euch das Feuer.
Tell us what you know!
I think our best bet is to stay put.
Just fortify your position, stay together. Good plan.
And as soon as the weather breaks, we'll go find her.
Now let's all fall asleep. But something's in the house. Uh-oh, looks like Krampus is fishing with some pretty good bait. Doesn't that look the least bit odd? I mean, who would fall for something that looks so obvious? Well, hello.
Get behind me.
In the process, we find out their tree is almost as flammable as the Griswolds.
I must tell you something. To all of you.
Oh, now you explain things, Granny. I do kind of love how her flashback looks like a Rankin Bass cartoon. She too had a mean family when she was a little girl.
They too had given up. And eventually, so did I. They dragged my family into the underworld. And the Christmas spirit dies.
Okay, Granny's off her meds. What else you got?
After these messages. We'll be right back.
Something stalks the kids upstairs. Damn, houses in movies always have such big functional attics. But a giant jack-in-a-box clown is trying to eat the children. That is a sentence I never thought I'd say out loud. They're also attacked by a malevolent angel and what I think is the bear from The Revenant. And the gingerbread men are pretty good with a nail gun.
Oh, shit.
Elf Team 6 moves in. Go! Go! Well, it looks like the big guy himself is here. Granny goes to face Krampus alone, and this is going to be a short-ass boss fight. Merry Christmas, ladies. Soon the adults are Krampused, or whatever it is that's happening to them. We never see a body, so I don't think they're being killed yet. Eventually it's just Max left to face the Krampus. But instead of Krampusing him, he gives him a bell wrapped in his torn-up Santa letter. Way to rub it in. But Max is not going to let that fly. Well, this just got awkward.
Give me back my family! Give them back! Take me instead.
I get it. His offer of sacrifice will make the Krampus return his family, and everything will be okay. That didn't work. Really, that usually works in these movies.
I just wanted Christmas to be like it used to be.
A dream? Really? You're going with a dream?
Oh, hey, there he is.
But wait a minute. Why is the family suddenly nicer? If it was his dream, how did they learn anything? Maybe it wasn't a dream after all. Billy gets the Krampus suppository and suddenly everyone seems to recall the horror movie they were just in. Okay, now it's starting to make a little more sense. I lied. This makes no sense at all. Are they all dead? Did they all die and go to St. Elsewhere? That was ho-ho horrible! That was Krampus. Krampus combines Christmas with Evil Dead, demonic toys into a kinetic horror film. Throughout the movie, I was getting a pretty strong Sam Raimi vibe. There's a theme of taking care of your family, but it's less about being a loving, supportive household and more about protecting your family with guns. America. Our main family isn't terrible, but they do have problems. The extended family is indeed terrible and unlikable, or at least they start out that way. They're mostly single-dimensional characters like the victims in a slasher movie.
A shepherd has got to protect his flock.
Just a collection of traits plus some unlikable quality to justify their outcomes. Don't feel bad their children are missing. They were horrible people anyway. There's some character development, but it's mostly predictable and it's fairly meaningless. And I'm not counting how nice they were at the very end. Like most horror movies, the plot serves as punishment for the character's sins. Krampus punishes the family for losing their Christmas spirit. They literally bring this on themselves. The Krampus himself, when he's shown sparingly in the shadows and hidden from plain sight, he's pretty intimidating. But towards the end, when you see so much of him, he loses a lot of that mystique. He wears a mask, but it looks silly. You're already a supernatural being. Why bother hiding your identity? Not that I really need to know. I don't really care what he looks like under there. But 30 years later, I still wonder what this looked like.
You like it?
That's how you make your character mysterious. The Krampus really doesn't have much character. Freddy had character. Even Jason had character. But Krampus has just no presence. Like I said, most of the family were painted to be unlikable. David Koechner's character in particular is a stereotypical Hummer-driving, gun-toting asshole, but he plays it so well. Everyone is so unhappy and unpleasant at the beginning, there's not much to counter that by the end. Everyone is still unlikable. When they die or whatever, I find myself not really caring. The comedy horror gives the illusion of a family-friendly movie, structured a lot like a slasher film. But instead of the bodies piling up, the victims are instead spirited away to wherever the Krampus takes them. There is a dark tone, but in an Evil Dead sort of way. You literally have cookie monsters. When your monsters consist of killer teddy bears and gingerbread cookies, you just can't take this movie seriously. I was expecting that since Krampus is real in this universe, Santa has to be too. And I kinda started to dread the idea that Santa would appear at the end and save them, and I would have been out. But thankfully that didn't happen. Let's talk about that ending. Although this was a horror film, it was still a Christmas movie. What usually happens at Christmas movies? People grow and change. Bad things are undone and miracles happen. Everyone lives happily ever after. But not here. We get a full dark horror movie ending with consequences. I would have lost all respect for this movie if they went the "it was all a dream" route. There are also two theories about the ending. The family is indeed alive and happy, having earned a second chance, and the snow globe is just the Krampus watching over them. The other theory, the one I'm a little more behind, the family is trapped in a type of purgatory, repeating Christmas morning for eternity as a type of punishment. Is it really punishment? I get to unwrap my Nintendo 64 over and over? If you really want to punish someone, have them relive the day after Christmas, cleaning the mess over and over for all eternity. It's still a hard concept to take fully seriously, so the funny bits just kind of steer into the skid and the movie tries to have fun with it. It's dark and very, very absurd. Krampus gets a chilly 2.5 out of 5. Who says Christmas movies have to be just jolly? There's definitely a lesson here, but our family may have learned it way too late. Don't make their mistake. Just be good, okay? That's it for me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So who's coming to your house? Santa or Krampus? Leave a comment below. This is theNewBee, and as always, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. See you later.